Welcome to Menopause Dinners. My name is Sarah and I'm your host. Not only is it me, but I have some incredible guests with me today. You can expect real stories, laughter, a few tears, and some facts to help you feel not alone in this shitstorm called the menopause. So sit tight, let's ride this storm together. Welcome to Menopause Dinners. Welcome back to part 2. Welcome back. If you was with us last time, you would most probably thinking we're just having a moan fest in part 1. There were some interesting subjects that we talked about, and we're going to be talking about those again today. But before we do anything, let me just reintroduce the guests again. So we got Maria. Yay! And we got Carol.
Hey.
And we got a lady in the audience.
Hey.
That's all right. We've got a little audience, so we like women around us while we're talking. So if you do want to come down to any of the podcasts, please do get in touch. The more the merrier. It's all girls here. It's all good fun. So I made something because it's menopause dinners. We always like to bring the food into it because food is part of the help that we have, that we can allow ourselves to get better from the symptoms that we've got. So that's why I like to do the dinner bit. Plus it's also nice when you've got people coming to give them a little bit of food. Whether it's nice food or not is besides the point. So today I made brownies. Now they weren't as good as my last brownies, but these are different ones because they contain kidney beans, okay, and peanut butter and oats. So there's a few different things in there. I wanted to try it. A lot of people making kidney bean brownies, and I thought, let me try them. Whether I was successful or not, you'll find out in a second. But kidney beans are really good because they contain potassium, phytoestrogens, as we know they're good for menopause symptoms, fibre, B12, folate. And then we've got the oats, again, which is another form of fibre. So there's a lot of good things in them. But I think I'm just going to have to ask the ladies what they thought. So first of all, before you score me, can we get some feedback? Maria, what did you think?
Thought they were a bit dry.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take that.
But it took they weren't sweet, but because they were like cake, it took the edge off my sweet craving.
Oh, okay.
I quite enjoyed them.
Thank you. Does that mean we're going to have a better half without the... We're not going to be so worried about things in the second half. Everyone's going to be a bit more calmer.
Maybe.
Thank you. And well, come on. We'll come back to the scores in a minute. Carol?
Like Maria said, they were a little bit dry. I'm not a great kidney bean eater. And for the fact that you disguised it in that manner, yeah.
You like the disguise?
I like the disguise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And lady in the audience?
I thought they were a bit dry.
There's a pattern going on here.
There is. But it was actually quite tasty because, again, I don't particularly like kidney beans. But it was well disguised. And if I would say anything, it would be, I've thought that the chocolate, being a dark chocolate.
It was just
been,
cacao powder. Yeah.
I think a chocolate powder might have, not white chocolate. What's the other chocolate?
Cocoa.
Just a normal, would have been
just normal
a bit
slab.
tastier.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So out of 10, Maria?
7.
Okay. Carol?
7.
Lady in the audience?
7.
7. Yay! I get a little, thank you very much. I would say they were dry too. I spat mine out. But I did put Greek yogurt on mine at home and to make it better. But if you want to try the recipe, I will add something. I will try it again and try and make it a bit more gooey. That will be on the YouTube channel, so you can see me making them and you can try them yourself and score them. And yeah, there we go. More recipes on there as well for you. So we talked last time about having loads of different problems, smells, people chewing, people eating, misophonia. So there's a few things that can help if you do suffer with this, if you did pick up on that, you know someone. So, you know, wear a pair of headphones is sounds like really cheeky, but it does help, you know. So like I said, when I blend food, I have to wear headphones. So you've got to look at that. CBT to help you understand why you're having a problem with a particular food. And that could be quite interesting for my coleslaw because it's obviously come from somewhere, you know, back there. And yeah, just taking breaks for sensory overload. So if you find that you're really getting wound up about someone eating or whatever, then just take a break and come away before you say something really bad. But I do want to talk about Chinese medicine because if you don't know, I do traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and Chinese medicine with the ears is really important because the kidneys, hence why I did kidney beans. See, there's a thing going on here, a link to the ears. And the ears in Chinese medicine, like I said, a kidney, and it's also to do with the colour black. So this is a good one. So kidneys is to do with water, cystitis. Obviously, as we get older, we get things like water problems, urinary tract infections, but also the black is to do with the hair. Kidneys is to do with the hair as well. And if you think about it, what happens to our hair as we get older?
It thins.
It thins and it goes grey. And it signifies strength. Black signifies strength. So if you look at all the leaders in China, Korea, you very rarely see a guy that's got grey hair. That's because they dye their hair because it signifies strength. So that's quite an interesting one. But so things that affect the ears are what we call damp foods and also heat. So let's talk about the damp foods first of all. In the acupuncture, well, there are channels that go up to the ears. So if you do eat particular damp foods, they can block the pathway to the ears, meaning that you won't get the blood flow. So we talked about in part 1 about blood getting to the ears, lack of estrogen. So avoiding damp foods in your diet, which are things like banana, sugar, wheat, all the gooey stuff that we like, alcohol, but also heat. Heat's a really important one, and heat also is to do with why we get really irate. So if you eat a lot of chocolate, sugar, alcohol, there's a pattern going on here. Cigarettes, it sends heat up to the head. So think about reducing those kind of foods. It's impossible to, and we're not saying to cut those foods out, we're just saying to maybe reduce them, and that can help the heat rising up to the head, which is causing you maybe that panic or that anxiety, and that can help. And tinnitus, I want to say as well, some people get tinnitus issues because they've got neck problems. Just throwing it out there. So neck issues, if you've got a tight neck, go and get some treatment. Your arms, yes, are connected to your neck, but again, sometimes I have people that have very tight arms, tight forearms. They can be pulling on the neck. Then that pulls on the ear. So think about, don't settle for having the tinnitus. Yes, you may have it, but think about other things. Just think, can I, get my neck a bit looser? Is that, taking the problem away from the tinnitus a little bit? Can I change my diet a bit to avoid all these foods? Just see if that helps out. And then if it doesn't, then then that's it. But you may find that it may reduce the noise a little bit. So I just wanted to talk about that because, you know me, I love to talk about Chinese medicine. I think it's really interesting, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do. You don't have to put up with it. So what next? Maria mentioned, has anyone got any questions for me on that before we skip?
I wanted to ask.
Oh, that's a good. Go on.
I wanted to ask, when you see in the Chinese shops and they do those needles and it's around the ear.
Yeah.
What is that in? What's kind of helping that? Is that to gain more balance or something?
So the ear, it's called auricular acupuncture. So if you look at an ear, which you can't at the moment because we've all got headphones on, actually you can look at that lady's ear there. It's actually it looks like a fetus. Yeah, the earlobe is the head, and the feet are the top. It's curled in the womb like a fetus, and you can needle the ear for any acupuncture point in the body. You don't actually have to go on the body. You can just needle the ears.
Okay.
So there's so many reasons why people do auricular acupuncture, but there's also another treatment called the NADA protocol, which is very, very popular, and that's to do with PTSD, anxiety, depression, addiction, and that's like 5 acupuncture points on the ears that really help. So yeah, but there's calming point. There's a calming point on the ear. I always give patients an ear seed if they're going somewhere that's like stressful, and I do it on myself. If I'm going to the dentist, I put an ear seed on and it calms me down. It does work and it really settles you. So again, if I've got anyone that's got any sleeping problems, I give them an ear seed to calm them down so that they can actually press on the ear seed. To just release.
And does it stay in?
Yeah, it does. It can stay in. I had someone once that had it for 3 weeks when they went away for Christmas, and they come back and it was a bit stuck, but it was still on there. But it does work, and everyone, it works for different things. But I do think that if you can have a little bit of calm, it can help you.
Is it something that can be bought from the shop, from your chemist, and then you apply, or does it have to be done professionally?
Okay, so now there are people that sell them online that aren't acupuncturists. We won't go there, but they do. I would suggest that, as you know one, you can ask them, and they they can show you, and then that's it. But they're easy, and I can just give you a few. It's not a problem.
I want to go to sleep.
You will, yeah, definitely. You okay?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you saying about the problems with the neck
Yeah.
being related to tinnitus. I have found that when I go to bed and wake up in the morning, the tinnitus is worse. And sometimes I haven't got tinnitus when I go to bed, but I wake up with it in the morning, and I do have a tight neck.
Okay.
So I have thought that myself.
Yeah.
That there's some sort of relation with my neck, and I do massage my neck, but as yet it hasn't made it go away.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's interesting. And when I do the fascia manipulation, when I sometimes get people that have a bit of glue ear, or they have really bad sinuses, or it keeps popping, there's a lot of work that can be done to help relieve it. So that's interesting that you said that. So you know what to do, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Any other questions, ladies, before we carry on? Okay, so while we was having a break and the ladies were eating the very dry brownies, we had a little chat. There was something, Maria, that you said that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, this isn't something that is as bad as it was. I think now that my HRT is sort of controlling things, but the internal rage that I used to get and still sometimes get, as I said, I'm not confrontational at all. But when I go, it takes a lot to make me go, and then it's spectacular. And my middle son will tell you about a time when I was living with the 3 children, probably about 10 years ago, and they were arguing amongst themselves, and I went to tell the instigator off, and then they ganged up on me, and I lost the plot. And I shouldn't really admit to this. I went in the garden, and in the shed there was an axe. Don't panic, please. And I lobbed one of the trees in the garden. Well, I was in such a rage. And then I pulled myself together when I looked up and saw these 3 faces at the window and thought, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, my God.
That was probably the worst. But I do get these internal, when things really annoy me, and because I don't confront, I internalise it.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard about acts. Should we be worried?
I haven't got an axe now.
Oh my God.
But also the tearfulness. I used to just cry for no reason, and I could cry and cry and cry. I do still cry a lot, but I can hold it now. So it might be a trigger, and it's generally when I'm on my own, which is actually quite sad when I think about it.
Oh.
But something will trigger it, and then I'll be in floods of tears and pull myself together, and then I'm fine.
So that's interesting about the internal rage, because we've never really heard it spoken like that before. Because when we did Mood Swings, it was like, for instance, Paula, literally, someone cut her up in the car or something, and then she chased them, or something happened, and then she really like went. But that was like being vocal. That's not like letting it build up and not knowing what to do with it.
in my head. I can visualise and not the axing.
That's
you know,
okay.
I
think our listeners are getting a really good idea.
But I
Yeah.
will go through it in my head. And if there is a situation where I should really say something to somebody and I don't, and then I come away thinking, well, I should have said that and I should have said that. And then I get annoyed with myself. And that's got worse as I've got older.
Yeah, the confrontation is a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of us are people pleasers.
Oh, I'm definitely a people pleaser.
You know, and it's really hard to kind of, when you've been like that all your life and then all of a sudden to switch, I think people don't like that.
Generally, when I have one of my, it is just break down and cry. And it's just frustration. And
Yeah. Oh, mate.
So I don't really argue.
No, but that must have been really... Did you feel better after throwing
It
it?
was great. I wasn't throwing it. I was cutting
Oh, he
branches.
was cutting. Oh,
yeah,
he's
and
doing
the tree looked.
He's making wood for the fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah,
But that's healthy because you're getting it out.
I don't think they thought it was healthy.
Well, yeah, but you're getting it out. That's, I mean, I like a scream. I sometimes I really want to scream, and I've done it, and I've tried to do it when no one's around because I don't want to upset anyone, but I feel so good afterwards.
It's probably the same kind of thing.
Yes, it builds up. It builds up, and then you can't let it out, and then you just want to just do something with it, but you can't. Carol, what do you think?
I'm thinking back to a couple of situations that I've had, and I think I've experienced the same thing as you. Because I've talked about it in my head, and the rage, because I'm acting it out in my head.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And I get to a point where I am enraged, so enraged, but I have to say to myself, step down. And so, but it happens, it's more frequent. And I don't mean every week. It's just the realization that I'm in that zone, that I'm realizing, it's a little bit more frequent. So I definitely understand and I never took no note of it until you started speaking about it. So that's why I love this little show. It's the small little things that we kind of step it down, step it to the one side, shove it over to the one side. But it is a thing. And we're in new grounds now. We're learning new things about ourselves. So just having this little platform really does make you think, I am human still.
Yeah.
You know, there is nothing unequal about us anymore. We're just new. We're budding a new flower. So, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Isn't that nice? It's true, though.
It is.
But it's also when you hear someone else normalise it, that's the thing, isn't it? It does.
Yeah.
Because my children at the time obviously thought I was nuts. And I felt nuts.
Yeah.
And when I've told people, I mean, I don't tell very many people.
Well, you're telling a lot of people now.
And they think I'm nuts.
Yeah. But
I'm not.
Yeah. There's a lot of women crying right about now.
You reckon?
Yeah. Because the crying is one thing, because we know we're going through the menopause and everything. But to know when somebody speaks and you think, I'm not alone, that can really, really turn something around. Yeah.
Wow. Are you all right, Carol? I feel like I need to come and give you a hug.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? But there have been times where I'm not proud of my behaviour. I will say that. The way that I've had that, like you said, built up and then I've exploded because I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's on me, but it's also the fact that it's something new that you're learning to deal with, that you've had it before, but not to the extent of it like you've got now. You know, the other day I said, I mean, it's like my husband's a wonderful guy, but he's got OCD, and it's like living it in all inclusive. I put something down, it's gone. And the other day, I literally put a pan down, I turned around to reuse it, and he was washing it up. And I just went, I'm not proud. I went, what the fuck? Like that, because I was like, no more, I can't, you know. But again, it's not, years ago, I would have been able to kind of say something a little bit more diplomatic, but there's just not that. It's a 0 to 100.
Do you take things more personally now?
Yeah.
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 So if someone had said that to me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have burst into tears, but that would have been my, oh my God, and probably would have got tearful.
Yeah.
Thinking, what have I done? And then swallowed back the tears and, don't be stupid. It wasn't meant as...
Yeah. But it's the procrastination as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I find that really bad. And my husband will tell you that I will talk to him about something about 500 times. So if I send a text to someone, I had to send a text to someone the other day and I didn't know how to put it. So I asked him, how do you think I should do it? We spent half an hour talking about this text. And then...
Ask ChatGPT.
I still didn't get... It didn't get sent. Then the next morning I went on ChatGPT and it told me how to write it and I sent it off. But a whole evening just going over this text about every little thing that's on it. Am I going to piss them off? Is that me? That's not me talking. Let me change it. Are you sure that they're going to be okay with that?
And I worry so much, and I've got a big thing about this, about offending people. I'd hate to think that I'd offended people, and I'm very much... I don't say things in a knee-jerk reaction. I always think about what I'm going to say, and I don't like other people doing it because you can't take back what you've said.
Yeah.
Or you can't take back what you've written down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
But writing down, that's the problem with texting.
Yeah.
Texting or an email, you can read it however you want. It's not necessarily meant for someone to have it that way.
And I like pleasantries. At work, if I get an email that hasn't got pleasantries in, I think I've upset someone. But I know I haven't.
Yeah.
But the work environment has changed how we perceive things as well, because once upon a time we would just send an email without any thought about how would that person feel, how are they going to receive it, what do we want the outcomes to be. So we're thinking about it a lot more. I'm like that. I do think about it a lot more.
Not everyone does.
But not everyone does. But I can sit and kind of, I don't know if it's procrastinate, but definitely what should take me 5 minutes is taking me 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's taking a little bit longer because I am sensitive to that other person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think...
And maybe it's overthinking.
Yeah, because I think it is overthinking. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think we should be sensitive to the people that are around us and everything else. So
I had a work colleague once. Oh, it was so funny. I was off and I come back to work. This is years ago. So this is before my menopause. This was in my 20s. And it's just stayed with me. I come back and they said, oh, we're having a no email day. And I didn't know anything about it. And I'd already sent them an email. And they sent me back an email saying it's no email day. So I sent them back an email to say, I didn't know it was no email day. And they sent me back an email, stop sending me emails. It went forward and back. And I'm like, I can't win here because I didn't know. No one told me. But yeah, I think it's very difficult when you know, we've talked about your confidence, how sometimes that can come into play when you are talking to other people. And then you've got the procrastination on top of that, and you've got your internal rage going on top of that. It can be very challenging, I think, because you are going through a massive transition in your life. You're trying to identify who you are now, and you're trying to do that in a nice way. Which is easier said than done, isn't it, really? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, how are we doing over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
With us going through the menopause, and we're starting to identify the fact that we are changing. And I'm not talking about just going through the menopause, hot flushes and everything else. How do we identify with, how does it show up in work? How does it show up in the family? Because last week, my daughter, she was a bit moody and everything else. So I said to her, what's the problem? And she turned around and she said to me, oh, you don't want to hear it. And I thought, well, I just asked you what the problem was. And she said, then she turned around and she said to me, you only hear what you want to hear. And I said to her, well, tell me what the problem is and let me kind of see how I can navigate and help you and everything else. And she said, oh, Mum, I don't really want to talk about it. And I was just about to kick off. And then something just said to me, no, we're not going to go there. And then I left it. I kind of stepped down and left it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, normally I wouldn't behave like that. I would really go for it. But I feel that was a new me. And I was glad I didn't, because the next day she came in and talked to me. So I was and then I started overthinking, have I missed conversations then because of the old me? So, and even in work, I met with a new manager, and he's going to be my manager. And I really laid it on the line for him and said to him, there will be none of this, there will be none of that. I don't do this. And,
I want to be like you.
Not in terms of the task, because I'm a worker, but the attitudes, the behaviours, and I don't want to have to deal with it. And if you're going to bring it and present it to me, I'm going to deal with you straight away.
Can you teach me how to be like that?
And that's a new me, because I said it very calmly. And I said to him, have I said anything that you feel that can't be met or I need to adjust? Because I said, this is a new post for me, and I want to do it well, but I'm not 20 anymore. And I realised that I'm going through and I'm changing. So you're going to be a part of my journey. And he was really, he said to me, if everybody talked like that, Carol, I'd have a better team. Because he's got a very dysfunctional team. But in saying that, you don't see him. But yeah.
But that's been very honest, and for you, I think that's amazing. But some people, you're lucky that he liked that.
Yeah.
But not everyone likes that. Not everyone can take that honesty.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too much for people, you know. But I think in your case, it worked very well for you.
Yeah, it did. And I've been thinking about it. For months I've been thinking about life is really changing for me. And I'm seeing some of it, and some of it's racing past me. And that's when I get tearful.
Yeah.
When I see old things, and I mean silly things, like we don't have telephone boxes. I lost my phone. And I thought, yeah, well, I'll phone the house. And then I realised there isn't a single telephone box on the road. And I got tearful about the fact that telephone boxes are no longer a thing. So, yeah, it's small little things.
I'm sorry, Carol, but there's something. I'm sorry. I'm taking it seriously, but at the same time, I'm thinking, yeah, a telephone box.
And that's part of the change.
I get what you're
don't
saying.
like
My
it.
parents they actually had a payphone in our house. Yeah, it was annoying.
Because you were on the phone all the time.
That's why.
Yeah, it wasn't just me actually, but it was really annoying because if you didn't have no change, you weren't calling no one. But yeah, no, I get what you mean.
I think, is it part of, because this is all new, and because this is we're not senior, they're not our senior years, but life is rushing past, and our children are growing up, and my grandchildren are getting bigger, and
Yeah, it is. I think it is all part of it.
and then I panic.
I'm glad that they're gone. But, the change.
Yeah,
And it's like being rebirthed, It's just that we're still an adult.
yeah,
But
and we're still learning as well.
and we're still learning as well. And I'm glad I'm still learning. I still have the ability to do that.
When I put this podcast together, I was thinking there's two ways this can go today, and it can be about what's getting on our nerves, but I was also going to do a podcast about what I've learned, and I think this is actually going very nicely into that. So I would like to ask you all a question. What have you learned? If you could go back to your younger self and prepare them for your menopause, whatever stage you're in,
That's a hard question.
what would you say to them?
Be gentler with yourself.
Be gentle
With yourself.
with yourself because
Sometimes I think I'm too critical of myself, and I want to be everything for everyone, and I can't be. That's not possible.
Yeah,
And I think for somebody to think that you can have it all and be everything for everyone, it's just impossible, because something has to give.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
I like that. But I'm not there because I've got one daughter and I've never once even had a conversation in regards to me being menopausal.
Have you not?
Not once.
How old is she?
27.
Oh,
I don't even do the punt of saying, well, one day you're going to get here. I'd absolutely say nothing to her. And I'm conscious that I'm not saying nothing to her because there's something in the back of my mind that says, enjoy the young life. Enjoy the freedom of being young. She hasn't got any children. She goes out, she does what she's doing and everything else. And I feel like I don't want to spoil it with this talk about menopause. And she's not had any children yet. And, to enjoy having your child and being a mother and all that. And if she comes and asks me, because one of the things is I never had a conversation with my mum, I just happened to realise that it was that what she was going through. But that wasn't until in my 40s that I realised that's what she was going through. So I'm hoping that I'm still around to be able to say to her, yeah, this is how it feels. And this table enlightens me to give her a little bit more conversation than saying,
Does she listen to these podcasts?
No. I don't even think she knows that I'm doing it.
I think she's going to be shocked.
Yeah.
And I think this is good because sometimes it is about if they listen to it, it's
Yeah.
different, isn't it? It's not like it's actually sometimes it's better
Yeah.
because they can take it or leave it. It's almost like a secret.
But I think boys shouldn't be exempt from it.
Absolutely not.
I think they, at the end of the
Should
day,
not be exempt from it.
we should be having a conversation with our boys. My youngest is more aware than the older one because the youngest was still at home. Well, he was young, so he was at home. So when I was raging, he used to say to me, he used to be nervous about how I would come in the house because the slightest thing would kick me off. So he's a little bit more, and he will punt and say, "Mummy, do you need me to get something? Water, hot fan, something." So he's a bit more, well, where's the older one? He hasn't the foggiest idea. No sense about it.
So what would you say to yourself?
I think I would say to my younger self, I'm glad I had the life that I had. I'm glad I had the childhood that I had. I'm glad that I had the youth. That's why I don't want to steal it from them. So, the experience, I was lucky. I had a good family, strong family, still there now. So, the younger self, yeah, you did good. You did good. The older self, learning curve.
Okay. And the lady in green.
What would I say to my younger self? I would probably just say, love the life that you have, because as you get older, you think about things more.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you lose people.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's very, very true. That's the worst thing about becoming older, is that it's part of the process, isn't it? And I think I would definitely say to my younger self that it's okay if you fuck up.
Yeah.
I never thought I was, but people tell me all the time I'm a perfectionist. I didn't know that, but I'm getting to understand that now. And so when things don't go right for me, I do beat myself up a hell of a lot. And again, I don't know that I'm doing it, but I know that now. And I'm trying to say to myself, if you have a not so good day, it's okay, because it doesn't have to carry on to tomorrow, or even this afternoon, it might be a bit better. So, yeah, I would definitely say to myself that it's, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you fuck up, because tomorrow is a different day. And I really hope that I could take that on board, because I've wasted so many years just trying to be perfect at stuff.
And that's what I meant about being everything for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so much energy, and it's so much, takes a lot out of you, to try and do that. But it really is okay not to be perfect. Yeah. It's all right. People will still like you for who you are. It doesn't mean that they don't want to see you. I mean, I've hid away from people. I've not seen them for months, for years, because I don't want them to see my imperfections, and that's me going a bit deeper now. And I've lost a lot of good friendships over it. And that's not their fault. That's my insecurities, thinking that they don't want to see me when I'm in my deepest despair.
Yeah.
But if you've got friendships, then it's warts and all. So they either see you or they don't.
That was something that Kirsty touched on in the fibromyalgia.
Oh, check you out. You've been doing your homework, haven't you?
And she was talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Well, both the ladies were, about relationships being 50-50. Yeah. And I didn't quite agree with that.
Oh.
Because in an ideal world, yeah, of course, we want our relationships to be 50-50, or our relationships with our other halves. But they can't be.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I might only have 30% to give.
Yeah.
So he's got to carry me, so he's got to give that 70%.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's how life works. And then there's good times where you're both giving your 50%.
Yeah.
But in order to carry each other and to support each other.
That's very true. It's not, you're brought up to think it should be 50-50, but it should be I'll carry you for this journey, and you carry me, and then vice versa.
And I suppose that is 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a way, but
no, you're right. Yeah, there's so many things to learn. There's so many things to say. Oh, we've got to end up on a happy note. I feel like we've gone a bit flat. We've gone a bit flat. So, okay. So let's give a scenario. You're in a room. Someone's chewing. It's really pissing you off. I'm going to go around the table. We'll end on this. What do you say to them, Maria?
You should leave Maria till last.
Right. Okay. All right. We'll leave it to Maria. No, go on, Maria. What would you do?
I probably wouldn't say anything. I'd internalise it.
You'd internalise
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, Carol.
Bring it down a little bit.
Oh, put it down a little bit.
I think I'm a bit of both, because often I will say nothing, and perhaps somewhere along the line later on I might sort of mention something relating to it.
Yeah.
But generally I'm not confrontational. I'm quite a sort of mellow, subdued sort of person to a degree.
Yeah. No, it's good. Okay, so I will say to them. Okay, I think we've left it on a good note there. So, Carol, if anyone would like to be a guest on Menopause Dinners, what do they need to do?
You don't have to have any experience. You can contact us on menopausedinners@gmail.com, or the platform that you're on. Just send us a message and come on board. You'll have great fun.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So before we do the final rounds, I want to say thank you to our wonderful guest today. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
You enjoyed it.
I've loved it.
You've done so well. And the action, I love it. Carol.
Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.
And our lady in green.
Good night. Perhaps I should say, and it's good night from me.
You're going to send us on. And I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. It's been a real pleasure. So that's it. It's been eventful tonight. People trying to come in the room, having to stop and start, to us talking about everything, what we like, what we don't like. But thank you for being with us. We do hope you come back. There are more things coming up on Menopause Dinners in this season. I've got some people talking about perimenopause nutrition. I've got a lady coming down. She's going to talk about women in the workplace, knowing your rights. I've got someone doing meditation, exercise. There's so much coming in this season, so do come back. So remember to like, rate and subscribe, or join any of the platforms. Let us know we're doing a good job. There is now a monetisation button, as we are now non-profit. Every little bit helps. But before you go, I would just like to give you a final thought. Menopause sucks, but with friends, it sucks a whole lot less. We will see you next time on Menopause Dinners. Menopause Dinners is sponsored by Fitness Therapy for You. We'd like to thank Redbridge Sports and Leisure for providing space to record. Information we have on food and supplementation is our own experience. If you're suffering from any medical condition, please get medical advice before trying any help.